Welcome to Sylvester's podcast. Today's podcast is a special event. Sylvester has a special guest, Ernie from World Sports News with Ernie. Sylvester and Ernie are going to have a debate. The debate title is Nation Pride in Sports. The topic is, does society need nation pride in sports? Sylvester is the position of proposition affirmative, keeping the individual nations with flags and participants playing for the individual nation. Ernie is taking the side of opposition negative. Individuals first. Ernie believes in world citizens for sports. Ernie wants players playing for their own personal best. To Ernie, a world sports citizen is happy to compete with everyone doing their personal best. Let's introduce the participants. On your left hand side of the television screen is Sylvester. Sylvester is Sports News Review Ace Sports Reporter. Sylvester hosts Talking Bills X and O's, NFL News with Sylvester, and this program, Sylvester's Podcast. On the right hand side of the television screen is Ernie and Felix from World Sports News with Ernie. We will be following the debate rules. Only one decision was made with Sylvester's approval. Ernie can use Felix if Ernie feels that the question is not suitable for Ernie's standards or is too emotional. Let's start with the first question. Here's the question: does society still need nation first for international sports? Sylvester, you will have 1 minute to respond. Take it away, Sylvester. I feel that society can benefit from having nations first in an international sporting event. Just think of the time when Jesse Owens in 1936 won the gold medal for the USA. Then we go to 1960 and 1980, USA winning the gold medal in men's hockey. Those events brought the USA together in 1984. At the Los Angeles Games, that also brought the nation together. When the newly formed Czech Republic won gold at the Winter Olympics, that really helped bring their nation together. When nations come together to participate in goodwill sports, we all benefit. Just look at the recent Four Nations hockey tournament. When Canada won, there was a lot of pride in Canada. And now, with the worlds coming together, the World Cup nations could be once again proud of their nation. Let's not take that away from ordinary citizens. Time is up, Sylvester. Ernie, you have 1 minute for your response. Take it away, Ernie. I feel that the individuals should be first. You mentioned the 1936 Olympics. They were held in Berlin, and the world knew but ignored that something was wrong at the time in Germany. And for whatever reason, they, being the Olympic Committee, this didn't decide to move the Olympics to a neutral country like Switzerland. So instead, we had the games played in Berlin. Now, what if Jesse Owens didn't win? And what if Germany won 90% of the gold medals? How would we justify this nation pride in sports? Does any sane person think that it was a good idea to have nation pride in sports back in 1936 Germany? Now, also the claim of teams winning gold and bring a nation together. I think what should bring a nation together is good health care, universal basic income, affordable housing. Nations spend so much money on their budget for something that's not needed. If we all got together, a world sports citizen nation, sorry, Ernie, your time is up. We are going to move on to the second question. And now, our second question: why should a nation spend so much on security for the private corporations that own the events? Sylvester, you'll have 1 minute to respond. Take it away, Sylvester. It's pretty obvious why nations have to spend so much on security. It's many factors, especially what happened at the 1972 Olympics in Germany when the Israeli hostage situation happened and the Atlantic Games. Those events changed security forever. Yes, it's a huge cost. Remember, this is voluntary. to want to hold an international sporting event like the Olympics or World Cup. Because, yes, there's a huge cost to secure the games, but if the nation could afford it, then I don't see a problem with it. Everyone knew ahead of time what the cost of security was going to be. I understand that FIFA is getting security for free and the Olympics is getting security for free, but a nation is only trying to have a peaceful event. That is the reality of our modern times. It's going to cost a lot of money to hold games, which the citizens will enjoy. It's a once in a generation event not to be missed. Sylvester, your time is up. Now, Ernie, you have 1 minute to respond. Take it away, Ernie. You mentioned that the 1972 Olympics had an international problem due to Israeli hostages being held. Now, that was the cause of having nations first represented with flags. Had the event being held with no nation first, there would be no incentive for the incident and no need for armed national guards patrolling the streets during the international sporting events. You mentioned that the World Cup committee is getting free security, and if a nation wants to pay for the security, it's up to them. Now, I have an issue with that. If there's no flags with nations on it, there's no incentives for individuals with harmful intentions to make a statement. Security can be much more cost effective. Then you said it was a voluntary situation for a nation to want to host a game and pay for all the high cost of security. I say hold a national plebiscite on whether they, being citizens, want the international sports. The vote is not going to happen. It's almost like the nations where people cannot oppose. Sorry, Ernie, your time is up, and we're going to do the final question. Okay, so now here it seemed that well, here's the final question for both of you. It seemed that geopolitics played out in many forms from previous international sporting events, which had nation over individual. Is there a positive form of nation first, sorry, in international sporting events? So I'll repeat that again because I made a mistake. Is there a positive form of nation first in international sporting events? Sylvester, you will have 1 minute to respond and we'll get the timer ready. We're going to get the timer ready. Okay, we got the timer ready. So take it away, Sylvester. I say that is a good question. Nation first in international sports gives a chance for world leaders to come together in an informal way, bring ideas forward without changing international relations or policies immediately. It's a chance to bring collective joy to an otherwise crowd not interested in cheering for the same outcome. The infrastructure and grassroots production, grassroots foundation of a sport will be there well after the athletes have left the playing field. Putting the nation first shows the collective effort of a nation to support the athlete. I'm an American citizen plush toy cat. I want to be proud of the American way of when our nation wins a gold medal. I am over 80 years of age, and I want to see my nation and other nations enjoying their. Well, Sylvester, sorry, your time is up. Okay, but thank you for Sylvester. Your time is up. Now, Ernie, you have 1 minute for your response. Okay, so now here's a special note for both. Sylvester agreed earlier, but Ernie did not feel like he can answer this question without being too emotional. Ernie wants to hand it over to Felix. Sylvester has agreed, as previously mentioned, so his answer will be included in the debate. Felix, you'll have 1 minute to answer for Ernie. We will set the timer up and go ahead, Felix. Getting the vibe from Ernie. Ernie is scared of nation pride in sports becoming nationalism, where the leader can do no wrong. Talking with Ernie, Ernie is scared that an athlete must pass a good citizen test to be representing their nation. Ernie is talking about not how well the athlete knows about the nation. But if they disagree with the nation leaders' policies on domestic or foreign affairs, they cannot represent their nation. Talking with Ernie all week, he brought up how paramilitary or military patrol otherwise quiet streets under the guise of public safety for the events. Ernie brought up the Trojan horse scenario. Military groups patrolling the streets, approved by local governments. Then, after the games are well over and completed, the military patrols will stay until further notice. All this won't happen if nations are taken out of the international sporting events. Now, sorry, Felix. Your time is up for Ernie. Thank you, Felix, for your help with this answer that Ernie had trouble to answer without being too emotional. The producers of Sylvester's podcast want to thank today's guest, Ernie and Felix, and the producers also want to thank the host of Sylvester's podcast, Sylvester, for agreeing to do the debate. Thank you for watching the debate. But for now, Sylvester's podcast is over and out.